lovely. That was very good, and I'm excited to hear your info.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to take them all home with me. It's going to be fine.
She really is. I don't know about you guys.
I know, that's why I keep coming back. Because you guys are fun to work with. You have a good time to work with. It makes my job fun.
You can tell because she's large.
She's a little tough, but I wasn't expecting for it.
Hey now, I know, right? We even
I
changed.
have jumped on the treadmill in 4
Hey,
years. So I'm not-
we've changed a lot about her, and it's like she still holds that weight. So we're gonna drop her feet by half a few months ago, and she's still
I
there.
know I'm fine.
She's like,
Okay.
yeah,
Much better than the alternative.
it's not just like roundness; it's also in my.
Yeah.
Right? Well, she's pretty good. Yeah.
And she, like her back is really strong. It's not like in belly and drop back because that's the love.
Okay. She's like, can I be done now? This is good. I want us to do.
That's a big girl.
So I don't know how much of them.
Lily had my phone. Okay, there's that now.
Kept looking at him and was, the lens was out.
I've actually been impressed
Yeah, I
with
know.
Summit. So
But I
many
know.
Summit blankets.
But
Okay, I love Canadian Horse Wear. That's usually the ones I buy. Try the Summit, like buy the 82 Summit. It is deeper, and they have more chest room. Like, and I like used to like my job. Like my sister's horse didn't have to be wide. And it's really only Summit series. Infinity or Summit. But they are actually a couple inches longer. Everything on Laurel is longer than I found. Right, now she likes them a lot. Even though, again, the Randall running up with being also. Okay, he jumped in. But when we try the 80, when we try the Summit one, the chest actually does have a little bit more room. Which I was very skeptical of. One of my boarders was a green mom, and I honestly thought she was just trying to sell me on it a little bit. And then when I saw the blanket when she actually moved in, I was like, huh. We put it on the horses, it does make a difference. So you could, and they fit a little bit big. So the 82 is more like an 84.
Yeah.
So not that I'm gonna tell you what to do with the line. But if you're finding the chest is a bit tight, honestly try it from it, because you'll also have like teammates.
Yeah.
So I really did you guys quite well. We were like 2 months. So we're in there, and we like them.
Yeah.
And they're like more affordable side. They're obviously more always. But they're not like my family. It's not $400 board in the morning, so. So how are we doing with her?
Pretty good. I've had a crazy work schedule the last few months, so Lee's did some training sessions with her. But yeah, I think that's helped her a little bit.
Are you doing the training level stuff now? Are you doing the cancer stuff?
Yeah, it's not the greatest.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
You struggled with the corners a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's kind of
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, it's just, it takes on balance. And so, like, you can get through 11 corners, sometimes seconds, like a second. Like, you can do long side quarter, whatever, long side corner.
Yeah.
So, you still have plenty of
Yeah, and it's like, she's younger and she's big, but I want to put her in scenarios where she's not safe. Right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
But her transitions are much better. It's usually correct now.
Does she have any issues with her leads? Like, does she flip her leads at all?
She used to, but she's been better the last few months.
I was only asking because she's a big girl, and when they grow, sometimes you get cross cannery and stuff because
Yeah, I
they
think
get.
we're getting a lot of that.
Yeah, well, they take longer to mature out, so we kind of,
Yeah,
you gotta give them
when she
time.
struggles, it tends to be with her left knee.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we were doing that a lot of summer where we'd be like getting a week for a couple weeks and.
Yeah, so she's
Yeah.
working herself out.
Yeah.
The hydraulics go up at different times, right? Oh, wow. Well, that's what you kind of have to be aiming for, right? Because the bigger they are, the longer they take to mature out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would sit in the camp of, yeah, we can try it a little bit. We're not gonna like struggle through the morning.
Yeah, yeah. She likes to do around the outside. We can do a circle if we need to, but I don't make her too often.
Well, and obviously, like, you know, sort of like Neil, there's just so much energy in a smaller space. And with a big horse,
Yeah.
it's not worth stressing. I'd rather do more transitions.
Yeah.
Keep it, because they're trying to get confidence too, right? So,
Yeah, and then Lee's been working on a little bit, not as much me, like kind of collecting more contact with
Yeah.
her, just because we've been riding her pretty wherever she wants.
yep.
So as we go around and
Yeah.
kind of get more.
One, it's hard because a horse like this, when they're bred to like to pull. When you get contact, you have to be careful to not be aiming for that
Yeah.
and not supporting them too much, especially because when they're this big and they're carrying this kind of weight. I mean, they're also a lot more aggressive when they're up on their feet, right? She's the one that wants to hold, which floats around.
Yeah.
But also just for the safety of both of you, you have to make sure that that contact stays only the weight of the reins. So even though she's young, she's gonna lose her balance every now and then, we're gonna have moments where we kind of catch each other.
Yeah.
So we're forgiving there, but at the same time, we have to make sure that no matter what the ask, no matter what the scenario, the first thing you do is fix the contact. So there's never really a moment where you're gonna say, oh, it's fine if she's on my hands for a minute.
Yeah.
Right? It's not really the case. If it's all falling apart, then we just transition down and walk for a second and collect ourselves, right? So, speaking from experience, life is a lot harder when you're trying to hold up and kind of horse. So, amazing how things happen. A lot better when I'm like, no, I don't hold you anymore, you can do this. I went down that rabbit hole and it went very good. Yeah. From experience, I want to start saving from that.
Yes.
My back is pretty strong on my side, but that was too much.
Yeah, and I personally like had a tendency a little bit to be a bit too handsy. So then when I rode freedom for a while, I got that was off. But I practiced really good with him. He got a lot of hands. So now I'm still riding it, but I'm really getting
Well, it's a hard habit to break, right?
yeah, so like I don't know. When I coach before or something, I tend to be that.
Well, it's one of those things where you have to trust yourself. Again, your intentions are good, right?
Yeah.
As long as we constantly get the feeling of like we need to be releasing,
Yeah.
it's okay to get in there a little bit. So I never, again, in saying that, I'm not saying I want you to take weight. Like even as bugging Kelly a little bit, like you have to be able to kind of squish and move the horse a little bit. But the ask, when you split it, it's kind of in thirds, right? There's 1/3 that's the ask, and 2/3 is the release. So it's twice as much to give it back than to take it. And as long as you keep reminding yourself of that, you'll be all right, right? Because you do know, like I know you know that do your things, right? So I'm not going to tell you anything that you haven't heard before. But at the same time, you need to trust yourself that you can get in and get out quickly and help her understand how to kind of overlap a little bit more, with the saddle, how to carry you, really point of contact into it. Yeah. Right? That's the goal. It's not to put the horse on my face. It's to get the horse to lift the top line and strengthen your back. Right? And then the rest of it's easy. And I could literally, I've done it before where like, I've been working with a green horse who's never like half-passed in their life. I did it with my sister's myself for like the first time I've ever felt it in my life. And I just got kind of cocky and I went, huh. And the bugger half passes all the way to the center line. And I was like, huh. And it was one of those moments where it's like, it's not about teaching the things. It's about getting the horse on his own legs.
Yeah.
And then literally it took a weight aid and a positional thing, and the horse follows the direction of travel.
Yeah.
It is that simple. Right? Like, when you ask the kids or how you put your body in your position, and the horse kind of feels out to the hole.
Yeah.
Right? But when they're over their back, they can feel that, and it's, you know, and it's quiet, when we're not screaming our hands and our legs all the time, the horse can hear what we're saying.
Yeah. I think still figuring out like how.
Yeah. And she's allowed to do that too, right? Sometimes you ask, you go a little too high, you go, okay, well, let's see if we bring it back down. But like I was just saying, there's no wrong answer. There's only answers. So either you've done too much or not enough, or she's done too much or not enough. And you just kind of, you know, keep it off the radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
You couldn't fit otherwise.
And she's a lovely horse. She's very athletic for her type, which I love too.
Yes. It's surprising.
Yeah. Well, I know, but sometimes they get really clunky, right?
Yeah.
They can still do the things, it's just a lot harder. So whenever you're ready, just go for a nice little warm-up trot. Just kind of get her moving. And because she's young and you know her better than I do, if you feel like she needs a break or a second or whatever, it's fine with me, okay? You're only focusing on feeling your hand in the beginning,
Yeah.
right? But obviously when we do warm-up trot in particular, we're not really acting for things. We're just trying to grease the wheels a little bit. And again, I mean, these horses are all beginning and practice because that's part of the game. But it's really nice when they come with a good rhythm and stuff.
Yeah, we've been using the corners to kind of set up her legs to give
Yeah.
herself that push. To help
While
her.
she's so long, you really got to make sure your caboose comes with you,
Yeah.
right? That inside line, like, have to stay underneath you, otherwise you're kind of, you know, swaying through shit. Just control your seat. Again, the physics of this horse matters more than the ponies, right? So if you get rolling down the hill, you gotta catch that pretty quick, otherwise that turn doesn't really happen. All right, then you will get strong in the rein just because she's not fully that way. Good, diagonal. Good girl.
Love making noises.
We gotta knock it off. Oh my God, my word's gonna start failing now. Good. Yeah. So dare I say, be careful not to go too deep in the beginning. Kind of get sucked out and you lost a bit of impulsion with the turn. Again, physics with the big guys. You have to be very crafty as to where all the feet go. You got to make them fit in your space and maintain the balance. That's lovely. Good. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Not that I want you to cut your corners, let's be very clear. But when you're starting in the beginning, especially when you're trying to just like loosen her up a little bit, don't get her too deep. You can still put your inside leg on, you still lift your inside footing a little bit to lift the shoulder. And by engaging your group on your inside leg, you can still tuck that inside hind underneath that you're using the corner to help with anyway. Right? So although we take a slightly more gentle arc when we start, those cues can still come from you. Right? Good. Yeah. Diagonal again, go back to the right. spine. Careful to engage your right glute a little bit here. Yeah. Good. Okay, 20-meter circle down here. 20. There's 25. Now we're going to ask her to just flex a little bit to the right. Okay, she's green. So figuring her body up. So the one thing you can consistently ask her in both directions is to flex in the direction of travel. So she needs to be fairly straight through her spine so that she can push evenly off those hind legs. We're not yet gymnastic enough to ask her more than that. But by flexing and relaxing the jaw a little bit, she can help to release that. I know you've been here, but you heard me say it. The neck we're balancing on, of course. So we cannot fit in from it. So we need to be able to ask her to kind of flex into it. So we kind of, we switch the muscle a little bit and then we release. In the same way that, massage therapists or physiotherapists work out off our back. Right? She comes off the field, probably feeling a little bit tight. Your first goal, when you get in the saddle, is to kind of assess what you feel underneath. Where is she tight? Where is she stuck? Where is she, So the whole ride becomes a goal of, I want to work out the kinks for her. Right? So if she's a little bit stuck in her neck, we'll do a little bit more. And if she's really behind her leg, we'll do a little bit straighter. So here, I want her to, she kind of holds that left shoulder out a little bit. Yeah. So back end lower, wider in front of the shoulder. You want to bring the shoulders around the inside hind leg. So with the flexion in mind, you want to, as you're on this circle, you want to bring your outside shoulder around your inside leg a little bit more. So you keep her straight at the base of her neck on the left side. You push her over with your rein in your legs, so she's a little more in front of you. And then your right hand, your right arm works to kind of work out the kinks on the contact on the right side of her jaw, so that she starts to chew, soften, and relax. So she maintains the impulsion and the balance through the straightness, and then we get the suppleness through the contact on the inside. So we have to keep her shoulders coming in front of her. Also to make sure that she keeps her chest up. If we let the outside shoulder go out, the chest tends to come down. And she has giant hind legs, so we gotta make room, right? Good. So a little bit of touch and release on the inner side, and then just move the bridle door. Again, I don't want to move the face off. But I want you to kind of get in there and feel like you can move the rein a little bit, bend through your elbow. You don't take weight as you do this, but you kind of move your arm, right? We are not static up there. We're on a giant move. It's hard to sit still, right? So you don't have to sit dead still. We absorb the motion that she creates. So as you sit in your sitting phase of your posterior trot, that was a lot, right? You're going to sit, you're going to kind of squishing down like we're together. You're going to pull your leg and center forward, and then when you post, you release. So it doesn't have to happen every step. It's not like we're going to. It's like I take a step or two to kind of gather, and then I try to ride the wave and sort of assess what happens. Right? Do I put my leg on and nothing changes? Well, we have to change that. Do I touch the bridle and nothing changes? Well, I have to change that. Right? So we kind of have to give her a minute to answer the question. But consistently on the circle this part, you're going to probably ask that in for a time. See what happens. So let's bring her into more of a 15 years old. She's big, but we're going to have to work it. No 10s today, I promise. No, I'm not going to do that here. But I want you to just come in around and shape a little bit more. So you use the geometry of the circle to help create more relaxation. Right? So just by taking her on a slightly smaller but reasonable circle, you ask her to bend the body a little bit more. She's got to make her space to react and allow it. So we get a little release and we say thank you. Right? Good. We make sure Right? Good. So on a 20 at this end, same thing. Do a 20-meter circle once or twice, and then bring her into a 15 and ask for a little bit more flexion. Yeah, good girl. Good. Bring your shoulders around to the inside a little bit more, so you bring elbows against your side. You're soft and you're open on the left, so you kind of have to close the doors on the right and open them on the left to ask her to come through and over. Good. That's it. Good. Move the shoulders first, and then we have to kind of release the neck. Good. Now on this circle, we're going to bring her into a 15.
It's not done like that.
Good. Turning, turning. Good. Turning. Good. Yeah, and soft. Yeah, turning. Yeah. Move the rein a little bit. Yeah, soft. Soft. Good. Soft. Good. Now run a 20 again. Even as you kind of get the wall there, a little touch the rein and soft. Good. Rein, soft, and then get on 15 again. Good. Turning, purposeful. Good, nice and soft. Good for you. Good, cross the diagonal. I know you're on 15, just make the turn where you're at. Good, forward. On to a 15 here. Good. Turning and purposeful. Yeah, and soft. Immediate. Oh, good girl. Immediate. She's free. She's going to drop too far. That's fine. You just then support the